I'm Stephen. I'm actually working on a cut-off here, and I'm making beehives. Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, plus minus 6 years.
It looks like a wonderful job, yeah.
It's exciting, yes. But it's quite a lot of work, yes.
Where did you learn the craft? Because I think you must know what you do when you want to make a
I
beehive.
picked it up on the line with Menno. Picked it up through Menno.
So are all this stuff part of
Yes.
beehives that must be put together?
Yes, this would be the rack, part of the rack. Your sides come here.
Yes.
It's got wax over here for the beginning of the cone.
So the wax are actually put in?
Just a starter. Just a starter. You know?
Yes.
And then the wire supports the rest of the cone while building. While building the...
So do you make to sell hives to other people as well, or is it only for his...
Yes, sell it to the public.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
it's bee equipment. How many hives are about here? If you assemble everything, how many hives do you think?
It would be difficult to say because depending on what the job is for the day, you know, because it's cutting, dipping and processing and manufacturing and then assembly on the
So
other
you
side.
do different things a different
Yes,
day?
yes.
Okay, so today is cutting. And
Today is cutting of the raw materials.
Okay.
Yes.
And then on another day you will just do dipping
Yes, or assembly.
or assembly.
Or assembly
Okay.
on that side over there.
Okay.
Which the racks are already in place. I'm doing the boards right now for the hive itself.
Yes.
After this, it gets stacked over here.
That's hives. And those little things?
Those are these guys
Okay.
after being assembled.
Okay.
Okay. The process will be after gluing them, laminating them, after cutting, and then they'll cut it to size, and yes, assemble it in that area over there. Shall we go to assembly area?
That's the honey room.
It's for the spinners, and after the racks are put in.
So what happens in the honey room?
After the hives are collected from the field, they get taken in here on the supers. The supers get the racks, 10 racks get taken out and put into the spinners. Okay, and then the spinner will do a rotational spin and depletes the honey from the rack,
Okay.
and which puts it into a container,
Okay.
and then it gets processed from there.
And then you open the door for the bees to come out again.
Yes, we open the window. Yeah.
Okay, so they can come. Oh, that's why there's bees here.
Yeah.
I understand.
The bees on the whole plot as such. There should be some against the window.
Very interesting. That makes it ethical beekeeping because they don't kill the bees.
This is the assembly area. Okay. This is a brood frame. This is a brood frame. Gets wired over here on the stable. It's wired over here, and the end product will be like such. Okay. And after that, we put a strip of wax in.
Which you showed us there.
Which I showed you over there. And in turn, we cook it. We cook wax over there, so to liquefy it, to put the wax in the groove. That's a melted wax. After putting the sheet in, cutting a section
Oh,
of...
so this is actually wax.
Oh, it's a wax sheet, yes. Then we cut a section of it.
What is that for then?
That is just for the melting purposes.
Okay, but what do you do with that? Is that just for that
That'll-
small strip?
Yes, just for that small
Okay,
strip, and then we
okay.
pour the wax in on one side,
Okay,
turn it around, pour the wax in on the other side,
okay,
so that it seals it as such.
okay.
Understand? And then after that, it will get racked and stacked and put into a hive box. Normally 10 racks on a box. Come, I'll show you over here. This is the dipping station. Okay. These are frames that have been used previously. This is the brood, this is the super. This is the brood box, which is for the bigger box, which is at the base, of the standing frame, which the bee and the brood will get born in here, but the honey will be only made up here in the super, which is a top cage. Yes.
It is actually quite a process.
Yes, it's quite a big process.
I think few people actually know what goes into making a hive.
Yes, it's quite
It's not just
laborious.
for it's not just for knocking the planks together.
No, it's not so easy.
Yeah.
But once you put your heart into it, yes, you'll get it right. As I said, after taking the frame out of the box and into the spinner in the honey room, which about 20 of these frames will fit in, and after the honey is spun out, it gets taken out and let the bees clean it, because they'll eat the excess honey off.
Okay.
And then we come and we cook it to re-clean the frame. And once the frame is cleaned, as such over there, this would be the process, the cleaning of the frame. And what actually happens here is we dip it once it's boiling temperature.
Is it water?
Water, yes. And we dip it and then remove the excess wax that is here. Which is clean at the moment, which still gets cleaned before we reuse, and after wiring and tensioning the wire. Then it goes back into assembly for reuse, because there's nothing wrong with the frame. So
Yeah,
very strong.
natuurlijk. Why?
It's very nice and strong.
Yes.
You can see used and unused.
How many frames go into
Okay, 10 go into a super, and 10 going to a brood.
Okay.
Only 10 per box. So only difference is the super is smaller for the honey, and the brood is larger for the breeding and feeding of the bees.
Okay.
And the queen will lay her larvae in there.
In the super.
No, the queen cannot get to the super because there's got an extruder to keep her at the bottom.
Okay.
Only the workers
So what's the bottom called?
The bottom is called the brood. Make fire here and make fire here. Treat the boxes.
Okay, is this the same thing? Is this also for the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
This is not for cleaning, it's just to treat your box,
Okay.
so that your box is weather resistant.
Oh, natuurlijk.
Okay.
Of course, yes.
And from these recently, these are the tops.
Yes.
They are processed in the dipping tank, and they are totally waterproof. You can pour water onto it now, it will just run off. These are the bottoms, and these are the brood boxes are over here.
Okay, so these are the bottoms.
Yes,
Do they also take frames?
Yes.
10 frames?
The box fits on top with the 10 frames,
Okay.
and they go in over here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you see?
Yes.
And it will be latched onto the box when assembly. Different farmers have different approaches about the landing area.
Okay.
Some bees just go in, some bees go sit
Oh,
on a
this
little
is where the
platform.
bees go in and out?
Yes,
Ach,
yes.
ja, okay.
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 You let me complete one box for you. Okay, put that onto there. Let me just... Okay, now you'd get a super on top. Just let me come over here. Get a super. See, they've got all handles.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Easy for.
Yes. So if you collect honey, then you only take this part
Yes,
off.
only this part.
Yes.
Then we take the rack out.
And you don't
put new
disturb
racks
the
in.
rest. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Understand?
And then those racks go into that room where you
That's
spin.
right, they get spun and
Here Menno is
reprocessed.
coming. Yes.
And then this would be the top, which this top gets fitted with a sheet, which silver sheet to prevent the heat from penetrating. And then you
Okay,
have
of course, yes.
And
Because,
then you have your complete box as such.
yes.
Yeah,
Nice to
Gqeberha.
meet
Yeah.
you. Nice
Yeah,
seeing
welcome.
you again.
Yeah, likewise, welcome.
In some time.
Yeah, thanks. You're keeping well there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for accommodating us
Yeah.
for World Honeybee Day Saturday.
Yeah, no pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
If
showed
we
us
can-
around a little
yeah.
bit more.
Okay,
You
yeah.
were gone? You fine
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen the highs and the stuff yet.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
show
gonna
us the
show you.
pros.
Yeah.
You are.
Okay.
Okay.
But can you give me 2 minutes?
I'm giving you, I will carry on with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said cows. Oh, really? How many?
Oh, we've got a variety here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, look at this. So is this from the tree felling?
Yes, the tree felling. And
So the two actually go together.
Yes.
Look at the machine.
Yeah, this is a Lucas mill. It's a very steady machine. It cuts according to the size of the blade. Once it is cut here, then it will be taken and processed over here in the normal daylight. Or it could be hung up against the fence. But this is the nicer procedure to do that. Yes.
Is that not to dry? And then is this the wood that you have been busy with cutting now
Yes.
on the inside? Okay, well, we saw you. It is a process.
Yeah, no, so I've got the 2 businesses and then, every now and then we get to cut down pine trees and then
Is it only pine wood?
this, what we're using for the beehive. So,
Only
yeah,
pine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, so it doesn't go to waste.
Natila, why
Yeah.
would you want to waste
And,
anything?
Yeah, and it just creates a couple more jobs as well.
Yeah, it's actually, it didn't even job creation,
Yeah.
but I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we going to look at the hives,
Yeah.
the exciting part?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So the sawdust also doesn't go to waste. We got the horse people that use it or in the stables. So nothing goes to waste from both my jobs that I've got.
Yeah. Your place is gorgeous. Sunette, you're here for the bees, not for the chickens. And he says that you got some cows and stuff as well.
Yeah. Might see them.
Okay, I must just do the chickens.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm going to be like, look at that. Hang on.
His name is Gucci.
Which one is Gucci?
The front one, yeah.
The rooster.
Yeah, the rooster, yeah.
And she?
No, she hasn't got a name.
Okay, so why does only he have a name?
Because he's such a good looking man.
Shame on you, you must give her a name.
Um,
And your clivias are doing so
yeah, the
fine.
clippers have just started. Yeah, they.
Are you going to sell your clivias?
No. It's just,
Okay, they just, it's the bush lily now.
So I've got these nice,
Yes.
secret garden over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Garden of Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, it is beautiful. The trees and the hanging roots and
Yeah, and that's really. And then the clivias start.
your clivias are healthy.
Yeah. No, that's all. It used to be my dump site over here. And then I got a wood chipper, so then we didn't,
Okay.
so now we could chip everything. But now there's a meter of good compost
Compost.
underneath here, if not 2 meters deep.
Because the clivias
Yeah.
get that worm lately that it,
Yeah.
you know about.
No.
Yes, that's why I
Okay.
say your clivias
Yeah.
are healthy.
Yeah, I know
And they
that.
will eat it into a stinking mushy mess.
Okay, yeah.
And then I cut mine off, then the new leaves will come out
Okay.
again. But they will eat right into
Yeah.
that bulbous root system.
Okay.
So you must just check
Yeah.
out for that.
And then this gates come from water road. Somebody put up a new wall, and this nice old gate.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I put it up over
You're
there.
actually quite artistic in your mind, very creative, the things that you do. That wall that you do there at the bottom with the wood stumps,
Yeah.
also gorgeous.
Yeah, I've got a few other things to show you.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's absolutely gorgeous. I thought that you have a artistic, creative mind.
Yeah, so let's see what is contemporary art. I think they call it this.
Yeah, but you must have a mind's eye to visualize it and envisage it. Oh, look
Yeah.
at it. How many hives do you have here?
Yeah, so this is our base, and then from here we're going to be taking the hives to Addo and Kirkwood now in the next 2 weeks, because the orange blossom is going to start
to pollinate.
for nectar.
Now, is it for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
For yourself, for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
honey business?
Yeah.
Must you pay the people or not?
No.
You get
Yeah.
the honey?
Yeah.
Must you pay the farm?
No.
Okay,
That's
they
just-
want the pollination of the trees.
Yeah,
Okay.
or they're not too, the citrus farmers are not too worried about if they've got bees or not. 'Cause
Why?
The more sometimes they might get more pips, and then they can't export it if there's too many pips in the oranges.
So why would pollination give pips? Do you know? Is it something we must Google?
Yeah, you can just Google it. Europe wants like seedless
Yes.
oranges and lemons.
And it actually
So-
has to do with the amount of pollination that takes
Yeah,
place.
so cross pollination.
How many hives do you take through?
Yeah, we're going to be taking about 500. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then the apple farmers?
So because there we only get pollen, we don't get nectar from that. So they say they have to pay us because we're not going to get any honey.
Yes.
So
I
they pay
understand.
us to
They
take
must
the
pay
bees.
you
Yeah.
to take the bees there. That's pollination.
Yeah.
Are these drongos or bee
Drongos,
catchers?
drongos, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a drongo and a bee catcher
Yeah.
look very similar.
Yeah, it's only a problem in winter, or not even a problem for me.
Okay.
I'm nature. It's nature.
Yes,
So for
yes.
me, if they eat 10 or 20 bees per
Yeah.
hive, it's not.
And do we have badger problems?
Yeah,
Do we
yeah,
have badger?
yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. In this area, when I bought 30 years ago, there was no honey badger problems. And when I started beekeeping, people were still paying beekeepers 500 Rand for a honey badger. So
Sell them.
beekeepers used to either sell them or sell them alive or
Oh.
kill them. It was in the Farmers Weekly. It was an
Yes.
advert.
Now you're
That-
giving our age away, Menno.
Yeah.
Menno and myself come way back together. People way back. I used to get in to come and fell my trees and to trim my trees. We've come a long way.
So, like I said, 30 years ago, so this whole area, we never ever had a honey badger problem. So I never did anything anyway. But now, in the last 20 years, because of pressure, everybody's put on beekeepers now.
Yes, not to. You
now
must-
the honey
do you
badgers
put
are
the-
making a
Do you put the
comeback.
stickers on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a meeting that they had, which I listened to many years ago, and they were actually then discussing the badgers and the badger-friendly stickers that the
Yeah.
people must put
Yeah,
on
yeah.
on their honey bottles.
Yeah.
Not everybody there wanted to do it actually.
Yeah, it's still.
There were a bit of a debate
yeah.
and an argument going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's.
I personally would buy, if I must choose,
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
with the badger
it's a
sticker on.
Yeah. Mine's got a sticker
Oh.
on there.
How big of a problem is it for you?
It's 100,000 Rand damage a year.
So, are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
Apparently the people put
Yeah.
it high up.
Yeah, so
on-
you can either put it like a meter, up a meter,
Yes.
because the honey badger and then on a pole. Like we strap our hives,
What does that mean?
like we strap it to a pallet. So we put like 2 hives on a pallet, and then it gets strapped. So then the honey badger can't roll it. Or
Oh, so they must actually throw it over
Yeah, yeah.
to understand.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's an easier way to
Yeah.
do it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's
for it
ways,
to actually get
yeah.
to the honey, they must throw it over.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're if it's a rotten box, they're gonna rip it open.
Okay.
So if your boxes are good boxes, then they're not gonna rip it open. Yeah. As long as your hive is still strapped.
So you don't think that something like an electric fence will keep them out?
No,
Not
no. I
yet?
mean, there's lots of different ways,
Yes.
but it's
costly.
It's still gonna be. It works out to 100 Rand per hive to protect it. But all beekeepers got problems either with honey badgers or hives getting stolen, and it is.
How do you steal a beehive?
Guys just either take the whole box, or if they're the guys that gonna make beer from it, they're just gonna take out. They don't even take the honey; they leave the honey behind. They take the brood inside to let it ferment. Make
I
beer.
actually forgot about what is it, curry?
Yeah.
In the olden days, we used to call it curry. No,
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. Do you get people that come and steal your hives?
Yeah.
Even
It's
with your
been
dogs?
This is only my base. All my hives are all over and
All
other
over
people's
the
farms,
place.
and so they don't really look after my hives.
No,
It's-
obviously not. They would expect you to go and look
Yeah,
after
yeah.
your hives, I would assume.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's been like 10% a year for the last 30 years. It's either honey badgers or
You're taking now to Addo,
yeah.
and then you've got on the apple. Where's the apple farms?
It's in the Langkloof.
In the Langkloof. And then where else?
and then I've got hives at the moment on canola in the Western Cape.
In the Western Cape,
Yeah.
for the canola margarine, that's those yellow blossoms that you see.
Yeah.
And how do you transport it?
Yeah, so it's all either truck or bakkie, and then it's,
You must take it there.
yeah, and then it's after dark.
Okay.
Everything we move all the bees after hours. Yeah.
So the people say that it's during the transporting that a lot of the bees die. Is there some casualties?
Yeah, there will always be some casualties. Yeah.
But how much?
The thing is, okay, you can see we close the hives in the front there, where a couple do come out.
It's a loss because they fly away, not because they get killed.
Or
what?
Yeah, because they
They
get
escape.
lost. They escape, and then
That's a loss for
the
you.
thing is, they crawl on the box.
Okay.
So, and then like a few might disappear in the wind.
Yes.
But then again, the fork-tailed drongos will.
Yeah,
the birds
obviously eat
more.
more.
They'll eat them.
When they are
Yeah,
there.
just with the fork-tailed drongos, for example. I mean, it's just the winter for 2 or 3 months when it's very cold. So then the bees fly a lot or slower. So,
Yeah.
and then but in summer the bees are just too impatient.
I actually read up last night that during winter the lifespan of the workers are quite a bit longer than in the summer. In the summer it's like a month or two or something like that. And in winter it's a lot, the lifespan is longer.
Yeah.
So is it seasonal then? Does your honey production go down in the winter?
That's the thing with canola. That is a winter. That's so we're lucky. So that is a winter product.
Oh, so you're not seasonal.
So again, 30 years ago it was more. Then we worked with bees for about 6 months, 7, 8 months of the year. But now it is a good 10 months of the year that we.
So have you always been into beekeeping? What came first? Was it your tree felling or your beekeeping?
My beekeeping, yeah.
Your beekeeping was first?
When I was in high school, yeah. Then I got,
in high school? What year would that be?
About 83. 84, yeah.
84. Yesterday. And then how did it come in that you started to do tree felling?
So it was my brother had a tree felling business.
Yeah, I forgot you got a brother.
And then and I had the beekeeping business, and it was before cell phones.
Yes.
So we both had to go to my mom's house to see what phone calls for the trees and what for the bees.
Oh.
And then I saw he was getting plenty of phone calls. And then
more than you.
And then he stopped. It wasn't working for him, and then
the tree felling wasn't working for him.
So then I took over the business and bought it from him, and then did the both
It's amazing
together.
to hear the stories. I sometimes forget that we didn't have cell phones, and then when sometimes I think, why do I have such few photographs of myself or of what happened in our life when, in my younger days? It's because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have a video camera, a cell phone, everything just in one little piece of equipment on hand all the time.
I mean, what if you lose your cell phone now? Then
everything is gone.
But now I still got photos from my youth.
That's very true. That's very true. But I didn't know that your beekeeping were first.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that is quite interesting.
It started off as a hobby, and then it just grew and grew. And then I'm a qualified panel beater.
Oh, really?
Actually.
Okay, this is much more interesting. Much nicer to do, I think.
Yeah.
3 million there in the world. Is it?
No, it's more than
more than that by now. That sign was quite old.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many bees do you have in total?
Actually running say about 1,000 hives.
And in total? Because there's a difference between, they said on Google, but I suppose the beekeepers will say, like doctors say, don't go to Dr. Google. They say that the hive is the box and the family is the colony.
Yeah.
Okay. Just technicalities. Okay.
So you get that owl box. So it
is an owl box.
Yeah. People get boxes they put in their trees, but instead of the owls moving in, the bees move into the box. So then instead of them having owls, they got bees, and then eventually the bees become defensive, and that's when they call us to remove the bees.
Oh, I understand what you say. It's people that put on the up owl boxes to help the owls in. Okay. And then the owls don't use it, then the bees move in, and then you come and you actually collect it. So now, if you profit from the bees, why do you charge when you go and remove bees?
It's a service, it's a job on its own.
Okay.
Okay. So
But you
it's-
actually make money for how long after that from the bees that you collect?
If I get to swarm now, I'm
Yeah.
only going to make money from it, or honey from it, most probably by the end of March, April next year.
Yeah. That long?
Yeah.
To estab-
They first just have to establish
To establish
themselves.
themselves.
And, I can put 1,000 boxes out, just empty boxes on people's roofs or in houses,
Yes.
and then we'll catch 800 in a year.
Okay, tell me something about the queens. I read last night that some do artificial insemination, which
Yeah.
I don't know how you do with a little
Yeah.
bee,
Yeah.
or they clip the wings off.
No, so I mean, you can take any of the eggs that the queen's laid, and then you can put it in a queen cell, and then back into the hive.
What is a queen cell?
Worker cells, and then you got drone cells, which are a little bit bigger, and then you got a queen cell that then is all on its own. So
Yes.
whenever they got a queen cell, they they can take any of the eggs and put it in there, and then the bees will automatically give it more royal jelly and make it into a queen. Oh, the beekeepers that are doing it, they're using plastic. The queen cells are little plastic ones, like it's the same size as a thing, and then they'll put the egg in. Bees automatically start
Feeding it
feeding
more.
it more, and then once it's ready, then they also close that cell with beeswax. Then,
But you can't have two queens in one hive. So how do you know that you've got another queen?
No, it's
Because they close the cell.
yeah. Then as the beekeepers, they know they put it in there now. That the eggs are in, and then they'll know that after 15 days it's.
It's a special little thing that you put into the hive that it's easy to remove.
So the bees automatically just.
So
look
that's
after
how
it,
you actually make new queens.
Yeah.
And how often
Yeah.
must you make a new queen?
It's only if you want to double your hives. If you've got 1,000, you want 2,000 hives, then you
Okay.
can.
When do we find the residents or people just staying in houses now that the bees swarm if the hive became too full?
Naturally, say if one of these hives is completely full of bees
Yeah.
and full of honey,
Yeah.
and there's no more space for them to store honey, then they'll produce another queen, and then like a third of the swarm will fly away.
Okay.
And with our Cape Capensis, they can do it 6, 7, 8 times a year.
You actually help keeping resident bees by removing honey. Actual fact, if you don't remove the honey, then there's not enough space. It stresses the bees out because then they swarm and they...
Yeah.
Am I correct or am I
So
wrong?
the box is full.
Yeah?
Full of bees, full of honey. There's no more. Now you've got 50,000 unemployed workers. And
Yes.
what are they going to do?
Yes.
What do unemployed people do?
Yeah.
They go and
Go and
fight and have
fight,
riots.
yes.
So it's the same with bees.
Yes.
By beekeepers, by taking off the honey, then it gives the bees more work to do again. So then they won't become so defensive.
And how often do you collect
The
honey?
canola is flowering now, so if you've got your hives there,
The
you're going
hives
to
are
get honey.
permanently
No,
there? Okay.
it's only for
For the-
like 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And then the next thing to flower is the oranges and the apples.
Okay.
And that's also just flowers for 6 weeks. So then if
Okay.
you move all that from the canola to the oranges, then you can get honey
So
again.
you're not going to harvest honey from these guys?
No, we are. Yeah.
Okay, you are.
Yeah.
So how often do you harvest honey?
So my property is only once a year. So the blue gums flower mainly
Okay.
from January, February, March, April.
Okay, so that's how they
So
can...
there's nothing else in this area.
And do you label your honey as blue gum? What do you call the canola
It's
honey?
either multiflora or it will be canola or orange
Blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it will have a distinctive different
Yeah.
taste. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now
that's-
I understand how you people know. I was wondering how would you know? And you never just go and put it like in the mountain somewhere.
Yeah, no, you do. So then
You
you,
do?
can like get fynbos in, if you put
Yeah.
it in the fynbos
Do you
area.
do that or not?
Yeah, yeah.
You do that
Yeah.
as well. Where would you then go and put?
It's lady slipper.
Lady
There's
slipper.
like fynbos in that area.
The
It's-
farmer that you've got a contact with.
Yeah,
Is it the
then-
land probably there belongs to
yeah,
somebody somewhere?
Yeah. So then we just exchange a little bit of honey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here are we these again. So yeah.
So this one doesn't know much about bees yet. So
Okay.
the others know.
Still going
that
to
one
find
knows.
out. Has it been stung before?
I think once or twice now. Yeah.
That.
No, that one's been there. No, that one eats bees.
Yeah,
This one
really?
goes
You
through-
tell me that's the easy.
You see, this one goes through the middle.
Okay.
But
I actually came here to have a vegan beekeeping conversation with Menno. I get across with Piers Morgan. He's a British journalist and TV presenter, and he's now on ITV Talk and Sky News Australia, and he's now got his own talk show, which is Piers Uncensored, Piers Morgan Uncensored. And he always gets a vegan on the show. He hates vegans. He really hates them. And then he guns for them. And if their argument is now of such that he can't really, he doesn't have a good argument back, he will ask them, do you eat avocados and almonds and drink almond milk? That's his favorite thing. And then he comes with the bees. How many bees get killed? You know, with the avocados, with the pollination of the avocados, and with the almonds and the stuff. And he always shouts the people down. As soon as they want to say something to counteract his argument, and it's not in line with it, he just shouts you down. They don't get a chance to open their mouth. He just attacks them. It's actually a terrible interviewer, really. He shouldn't interview people. He doesn't give the people a chance to talk. But after reading the stuff last night, I thought to myself, there's a lot of truth in it. There is really a lot of truth in it, because you step on ants, you step on worms. In the cultivation or the picking of the arrows or the almonds, there are some insects that are sacrificed, and these are actually an insect, you know. And I think there are beekeepers that's not doing it mindfully towards their bees. But in South Africa, I think most of our beekeepers, especially our smaller beekeepers, are very mindful to care for their bees the best that they can. And to be mindful, I mean, you lose your bees if you're not going to take the honey out carefully. You know, so you have the whole way that you do your bee farming is with the bees in mind, because you do yourself harm if you don't harvest and do this stuff ethically and properly. So for me, I have started to not have a problem eating honey. But I will look at if I now know you, I will buy your honey. I've seen what's going on here. Everything has been explained to me. So if I must look at the honey on the shelf, I'll see your honey, I will buy your honey. I know it's ethical. For instance, the vegans will carry on with me for eating my chicken's eggs. I don't have a problem with the eggs. I have a problem with what they do with the chickens, and I know what's going on with my chickens in my yard. So I will eat the egg. So I don't think that I should call myself a vegan anymore, because I don't fit the vegan society's description. Well done, Injo.
That's good luck.
I don't fit the vegan description anymore, but I think there's a big difference between being mindful and being militant. And where I used to be militant, I am not militant anymore.
See, that comes with age.
Huh?
That comes with age.
I think so. There is the short and the long is, we do not live in a vegan world, and with the rate that the population has exploded, that is just what happened. It's just.
But that's that's the other thing. I mean, there's 10 times more bees in the world now than there was 100 years ago. Because remember, 100 years ago, you know, the farmer just had his 2 or 3 hives. He didn't have a bakkie.
It's the same
Or
with
a
the
truck.
cow.
So they couldn't go and do all the pollination for the apples and that. And then even the apple farmers didn't like bring in hives. So this is natural hives. But now we have to feed so many people. There is more and more technology coming in for pollinating. You know, they're going to have artificial pollinators in the you know, the blueberries I saw in the video. So that's in tunnels, and then there is coming where they doing.
But I mean, there's certain things.
But it's, yeah, it's all gonna.
You can't
yeah.
control every single
Yeah.
plant, every single fruit, every
Yeah.
single veg, every single seed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, in a tunnel. There's no way that you
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
that. There is just no way
Yeah.
that you
But
can
that's
do
the
that.
thing is, you see, with the apple pollination, if they don't have beekeepers bringing in the bees, they get 80% less apples per tree. So
one of the questions
yeah.
I was asked is, what is the biggest challenge, or that's not the right word, for South African honey producers? And they say that we import a lot of honey from China,
Yeah,
Brasilia, and which was the other country?
Yeah, Argentina as well, Australia. But,
Why?
South Africa is importing 2,000 tons a year.
Yes.
They just can't get enough.
So then if there's such a demand, why don't you expand your business?
No, that's what I'm doing. We're expanding.
You are busy expanding?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I mean, if the demand is there and you have the capacity.
But it's still a lot of work to then run 2,000 hives, 3,000 hives.
But then it's.
But you can.
You can.
The potential in South Africa is
Yeah.
for a lot more
Yes.
beekeepers.
Yes.
So there's a lot of job opportunities in South Africa.
Yes. Yeah.
Lady here.
Oh, isn't that, who did this for you?
My yoga teacher. Yeah.
Your yoga teacher?
Yeah.
Do you still do you? Do
Yeah,
you still?
yeah,
Do you really?
Yeah, twice a week. Yeah.
Where?
Up the road here, it's Sally's place.
He's still exercising.
Yeah,
He goes to yoga, people, twice a week.
No, I should be going 5 times a week.
I don't understand. This guy is full of bees. Full of bees. Absolutely. He definitely has got a bee in his bonnet. And you make fire.
Yeah.
Oh, this must be so cozy. It's like it's a honey. It's a honey pot. Look at this, people.